Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. We are going to do an experiment on root cellars here in the basement, or the bunker rather, whatever you want to call it. I want to show you what we're working on. This is the basement. It is underground except for this section, and the humidity is pretty constant. Come on, we'll walk over here and I will show you. I have a dehumidifier to help because it can get a little humid in here. Humidity is at 69%, and we're staying at 63 degrees. That noise you hear is the pump, because the dehumidifier drains into the sump pump, pumps it out. So that's how we have it set up. And pretty good for a root cellar. It's not ideal for like gun storage or stuff like that, or if you have guns, but we don't have guns anymore. They all fell into the river. I do want to show you this. These are onions, and I know you're going to say, look at those scraggly looking onions. But see, these guys, these are onions that we picked when we moved. We've been in the house 5 months. Those onions have sat here and have not gone bad. They have grown. And the ones that are further down, every one of them is good, but nothing has gone bad, because it seems like it's going to be an ideal root cellar. Now I want to show you this garlic. We have had this garlic down here in this basement also for about 3 months, and we use it occasionally, but I dehydrate it and and then store it, and we use it in our cooking. But I just bought it, tossed it down here, 3 months. Nothing at all. And these potatoes have been down here about, I'm going to say 2 or 3 months. And they have just started sprouting. And mind you, I'm not doing anything to, prevent them from doing this. And actually, cut these guys into slips, cut the eyes, and those things would be planted and would be ideal. Now here's my thought. What I want to do is be able to store them a little bit longer. I would like to be able to store them for about 8 or 9 months, and I think it's entirely reasonable. There are different sides of this basement which have higher humidity, lower humidity, and I can adjust the sides. That's no problem. Here's my thought. What I'm going to do is put these guys in here. These are some old fishing coolers, igloo coolers. They have seen better days. That's 162 quarts, and we're going to use these for chambers in our quasi root cellar. I've got 2 of these things. One is going to be for potatoes, and then the other one is going to be for, I don't know, onions and garlic. I can't remember which ones you can't put with apples. I have to do a little bit of research. If you guys can remember which ones are not good to store with apples, because something, the gas that the apples get off as they begin to decompose causes the others to produce their slips. I can't really remember. I got to do a little bit more research. And there's all kinds of different ways to do it. You can do sand. You can put salt in it. You can hang them up with a pair of pantyhose, tie a knot in between each one, and hang them up on the rafters on a nail. That way, if you haven't, like an old pair of pantyhose or an old stocking, something like that, you can do it that way. And it works really good. I've done that. But what I'm going to try, I'm going to use dry pine shavings. Going to put down a good layer of pine shavings, and we're going to keep them from getting and getting bruised or damaged on the hard bottom of the igloo cooler. And then we're going to fill it up layer after layer of whatever we put in here: potatoes, shavings, potatoes, shavings, potatoes, shavings. Might do a layer of newspaper or something like that. I just want to see how long these potatoes will keep, because I used to can them, and there are some that we have canned. Now, the thing about canning potatoes, if you have a good root cellar, they'll keep for a year. Well, ideally, if you're doing food preservation, jarring them, they'll keep for a year. Easy. Well, why don't you just put them in your root cellar? It's kind of what we're working on. So this is a little bit of an experiment. It will be a long-term one, but we're going to put all of our root crops, our tubers. So if we had radishes, rutabagas, squash, cucumbers, you know, of course the garlic, the onions, the potatoes, stuff like that. We're all going to put them in these in different containers, and we'll do a little bit of research to make sure they don't off-gas and cause any sort of spoilage. Like I said, I know apples cause it with potatoes, maybe. Like I said, I can't quite remember. And we're just going to see how long they do. And of course, we're going to pull for it. We're not going to just put them down here and let them go to rot and ruin. We're going to pull from them and cycle through and use them. Again, these that we have been using for 5 months, I can take them outside and plant them, and I might do that, and they'll do great. I don't have the bed yet. I'm going to do some raised beds, 8 inches high, 4x4 beds, 4 feet by 4 feet by 8 inches high, and I'm going to put hardware cloth across the bottom, and that's how we're going to do our onions and our garlic, and maybe some potatoes. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to do dedicated areas for those, and sweet potatoes. Also, yeah, we're going to do a lot of sweet potatoes. We're going to have a section set up here in the basement for our hydroponics, which is going to be a Kratky hydroponics. You'll have to do a little bit of research if you want to. If you don't, it's okay. It's all good, because I have done the research for you, and we will talk about it. It is more of a passive hydroponic system. So, more to come. Hey guys, a couple of things. If you would consider supporting us on Patreon at Mayhem Country Living, it goes a long way with helping the channel out. And also, we are on Parler. We are moving away from Facebook, so you can take a look at us on Parler, which is Mayhem Country Living. We do have some products also on Teespring, T-E-A Spring, Teespring, and again, Mayhem Country Living. Just take a look at it and see if there's anything that you like, that you think would be interesting. We are also going to start doing a lot more on our sister channel, Mayhem Preparedness, on YouTube. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. You can see it's kind of underwhelming. Believe it or not, that was 15 pounds of potatoes. But I'm going to go to the farmer's market and buy some local, probably 100 pounds of potatoes. And we're going to do these in layers just like this. Put them in, layer, potatoes, layer, potatoes, layer, potatoes, layer, till we fill this up. This is going to be sitting here. This is going to be sitting, the next one will be sitting here for the onions, and we'll just see. I will probably throw in some coarse salt and just let it run down into it, which I've got about 300 pounds of it right there. And I will probably put in a few bay leaves just to help prevent pests, and we will put the cap on the hole. Oh, it's already got it on it. Okay, so this is something, like I said, I have been toying with the idea. If I had my old storm shelter, that was a really good root cellar because it had a high humidity. Down here the humidity is high, it's controlled, the temperature is controlled, we keep it cooler, obviously it's a basement. I think this will be a good answer for people who need a root cellar, because you can buy these things used at yard sales or salvage places, rummage yards and stuff like that. $10, $15. Now they'll be kind of dented, dinged, jacked up a little bit. Who cares? They're going to be for your root crop. If you can keep potatoes for 9 months in a closet, in a spare bedroom, something like that, without them going bad, onions, garlic, potatoes, onions, garlic, you can live okay off of it for a while. That is not a bad way to do things, and with the spices and the condiments that you should have, being a good prepper, you can extend your long-term food storage considerably. Take these potatoes, you can use the powdered milk or the canned milk, and you can do a potato soup, something like that. You can use the shelf-stable Velveeta cheese to make, again, potato soup with cheddar cheese. Bang, you know, there you go. Throw in an onion, cut a purple onion across the top of it. Not too bad. Throw some leafy greens from parsley from your crack key, hydroponic system, and you have a dang good meal, fairly fresh. It's high in carbs, but, you know, beats a poke in the eye. This would take care of you in a long-term event. You can also do potatoes, purple sweet potatoes that way, in a cracky or in an ebb and flow water system, and you can really do well. We're going to do those too. We have to find us a hole and put some down here. More to come.